So this is a prediction for Sun's transit in Scorpio for Ethereum. It's funny because I've been trying to dress like sexy for these videos. Just a new initiative of mine personally, but I didn't feel like it today because I'm lazy, and I was wearing this blue dress. It's actually the opposite of the orange color that I usually have been wearing, or gold, because blue is Saturn. And I don't know if it was an excuse to myself to be able to be lazy and not get dressed up, but I think it's interesting because blue is the color of Saturn, and with what's been happening, I feel like maybe I feel that I hope that with my predictions that I'm speaking almost to you from Saturn in a way. Because Saturn is showing us a realistic way of looking at things, and the truth that is kind of the overarching kind of macro truth, but at the same time, and I even have these predictions written on blue cards, anyway, at the same time, like I mentioned on my other video, I can only tell you what I see. So even though I was so disheartened, so deeply disheartened by what all has been happening, really it even brought me to tears, definitely. I think 2 days of like crying. So but what I see in the sky is quite different than my own emotional sentiment. So at the same time, when I give these predictions, especially since the stock market has depegged from the crypto market, very interestingly, actually, and I don't think that that's something that we should just take at face value. But anyway, in case there's like any detectives out there, yeah, so I'm just going to tell you what I see, but keep it, we're in a very uncertain terrain in which the stock market might be seeing huge influxes of money and investment, and that money and investment can be getting directly pulled from the cryptocurrency market. So I'm speaking specifically in this video about Ethereum, and in the Bitcoin video, I'm speaking specifically about Bitcoin, and I'm doing my best, especially in light of the recent context, to really speak directly from those two specific charts. So here I'm speaking specifically about Ethereum. So on the 13th of November, on Sunday the 13th, right when Bitcoin starts a new Pratyanta Dasha of Jupiter, on that same day, Ethereum starts a new Pratyanta Dasha of Ketu. And that's fascinating to me, actually. Now, Ethereum's natal Ketu is placed sixth from the ascendant, in a pretty strong position for Ketu, and it's also placed 8th from Ethereum's natal Jupiter. I look at Ethereum not just from their ascendant, but also from actually natal Jupiter. So that position of Ketu shows me that starting on the 13th of November, we're going to have a lot of volatility in trading action for Ethereum, in price action, but that volatility is, the end result is good for Ethereum price because of that position of Ketu. So that's what I see generally, the general landscape starting on November 13th for Ethereum specifically. On Wednesday, the 16th of November, Sun enters into the sign of Scorpio. And on this day, Moon is actually transiting Ethereum's natal Jupiter and natal Venus. And so this day for Ethereum especially, even more so than Bitcoin, should definitely show an upward price movement for Ethereum. On Monday, the 21st of November, we have Mars retrograding back into trine to Saturn in the sky. So Mars is retrograding in Taurus and enters into the trine with Saturn in Capricorn. That day should be good actually for all markets, including Ethereum, and also because what that creates is actually a parivartana yoga between Venus and Mars in the sky. Venus is in Scorpio at that time and Mars is in Taurus, so they're in each other's signs. So not to mention in Scorpio, close to the beginning of Scorpio, is where Ethereum has their natal Saturn, which is retrograde, and which is very important for Ethereum's price at any given moment. And that Parivartana yoga between Venus and Mars, which I'm saying should be good for markets in general, that is happening, just so you know, all the way through to the 5th of December. Okay? So just like if you're an investor or a trader that is using my work with your own other trading signals, these are kind of ways to notice the kind of environment that begins at any given transit onset. For example, I've just mentioned that on the 21st is when this Parivartana yoga is happening, and at the same time Mars is trining Saturn. And then I've mentioned the end date of that, which is the 5th of December. So you can use that as a trading signal, or in the sense, like use that time frame, be aware on the 21st of what kind of sentiment has entered into the markets, which is the same as what kind of sentiment enters into your own self and into your community and into your life. And know that that kind of begins a sort of trend related to that emotional framework that continues with, of course, its own nuances based on the other things that are happening in the sky, but in some way through to the 5th of December. On Wednesday, the 23rd of November, is the new moon in the sign of Scorpio. That new moon is happening close to that same natal Saturn of Ethereum's. And Jupiter that day will turn direct. So what I see for Ethereum is that Jupiter turning direct, heading back towards Ethereum's natal Ketu, that's especially much more than price action. For Ethereum, that's much more related to the work they're doing on their protocol. And so obviously that can reflect in price, but the power that it is providing to Ethereum is much more related to them going forward and getting the next phase of their development underway successfully towards a successful outcome than it is about price. So that's actually the focus for Jupiter turning direct for Ethereum. Doesn't mean the price isn't going to go up, but I would say for Ethereum, I think, it's more of a long-term thing that should give us confidence in that asset on the significantly longer term. On Tuesday, the 29th of November, the Sun in Scorpio is going to hit the exact degree of trine to Ethereum's natal sun. And I'm seeing that that date should show a punctual drop in price for Ethereum. On Saturday the 3rd of December, that's when Mercury enters into Sagittarius and will enter into trine with Ethereum's natal Jupiter. So on that date, I also see that Ethereum should drop in price. On Monday, the 11th of December, a new Pratyantar Dasha starts for Ethereum. So Ethereum is in the Moon Mahadasha, Jupiter Antar Dasha, and then on this date, the Venus Pratyantar Dasha starts. I see this should definitely be an upward signal for Ethereum. So that should definitely cause an upward movement to initiate for Ethereum. On Tuesday, the 13th of December, this is an interesting date where when Mercury enters into trine with Rahu in the sky, in transit, on this day, I see that actually that transit should push Ethereum price up, even if it's pushing Bitcoin price down. That's what I see. Sometimes there's a real difference in these two assets, even though usually there isn't, but that's one of those dates that I do see that. Okay, for those of you that can be of use to you. So stay tuned for the next set of Ethereum predictions that are going to be dealing with Sun's transit in Sagittarius. That begins on the 16th of December. Remember, I'm a Vedic astrologer, so the transits are different. I'm working with the sidereal ephemeris. I'm a Vedic astrologer. I hope to see you on the next set of predictions. Please check out my other videos because there's more about, for example, the new moon, and also I'm about to record one on what's been happening with the market lately because of the SPF business. Okay?